Hello everyone, it's Serenity. So today's video is going to be basically about places of worship, physical places of worship, because many find it completely hard to believe that Jesus, the Christ energy, whatever you want to say, because as I said, it's not just a singular figure, had approved of actual physical places of worship and to teach. He did not. And like I said before, the Bible was actually put together in a way where, like I said, Constantine and his consorts had an objective in mind. So, in order to put the Bible together in a certain way to try and make it uniform, there were things that were inserted into there that Jesus did not approve of, never said, but they were inserted in order to keep the theme of the Bible somewhat consistent. Okay? So, as far as actual physical places to worship, once Jesus, like I said, was aware of who he was, truly who he was, before the physical part in this earthly realm, he, just like me and many others, were raised in a religious background by the very one who rebelled against the true source of life. So, for instance, many people wonder about Jesus at the temple, basically having a tantrum when he's seen the money changers and all of these things, the animals for sacrifice and all of that. Now, just to put it in perspective, from everything I told you, if Jesus indeed came from the true source of life, the true God, who is love, and deems all life precious, do you think that him being in those surroundings where animals are being sacrificed, people are basically being taken advantage of in the name of worshiping what they think is God, all of these things, and he's witnessing it. And because of that intense love that you have, not just for humanity, but also all living creation, hopefully you can understand the anger that came up in him in order to actually have those actions, that reaction within him at that particular time. Now, I'm mentioning this because it has been no different for thousands of years. There has been this constant cycle of different religions and ways to worship, setting up different physical places to worship in a way to so-called please God. Okay? Jesus knew that this was not necessary. And he never instructed anyone to create churches, synagogues, any places, physical places of worship. Why is this? Because the thing is, and we all know this today, spiritual leaders, okay, have taken advantage of the very ones that they are supposed to be helping and guiding to truth. Now, I'm not just talking about churches and various ones, but I am also talking to the what some may consider the enlightened spiritual leaders who are not religious, have no religious affiliation, but just like other spiritual leaders and organizations and churches are taking advantage of the very ones that they should be helping for completely free. You are here to help humanity, not to benefit and capitalize off of their thirst for knowledge. So, when you're asking for money, in order for people to take in your knowledge, whether it's in a physical setting. So let's say seminars, books, workshops, different things like this. If you're asking people to pay you to dispense your knowledge that could help them, you need to really question if you are working in that Christ-like energy of love, or if you have literally been compromised by the other side, where you start to look for your own advantage instead of helping humanity ascend. So I am talking to everyone, not just clergy, not just governing body members, not just priests and different ones, but also these so-called spiritually enlightened ones who normally I would approve of, but I do not approve of them taking advantage of people. Just like back at the temple when Jesus was very upset about what he's seen happening. But now you understand why he was not popular. Because not only did he expose these religious teachings as being false and the ones behind them, but also the ones who may not have been in religion, but still took advantage of people wanting to learn and have knowledge. So these ones, these spiritual teachers, would be no different than these religious leaders who are also taking advantage of people for their own gain. What did Jesus do? When he was teaching, he taught in homes, he taught in fields, he taught by trees, on boats, by the sea, in valleys, mountaintops, by a well, and even the temple, until he was no longer welcome there for obvious reasons. Yeah, so the common theme is that Jesus chose places that were completely free. In nature, public settings, that type of thing. He did not look for his own advantage or for others to basically help him in the 3D world. He worked. He actually worked. He had a job. Yeah. He wasn't trying to get wealthy because that was not the purpose of him being here. And that should not be the purpose of anyone who's trying to help or bring spiritual knowledge to people. So, just to also expand on this, when Jesus did go to the well and was speaking with that woman, that is what he was alluding to. There is no physical place on this entire planet that is approved by the true God Almighty. And that is why in John, I'll read that. John chapter 4. Okay, John chapter 4 and verse, I'll read 20 and 21, where the woman had answered him at the well, "Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, and you Jews say that in Jerusalem is the place where one ought to worship." Jesus said to her, "Woman, believe me, the hour is coming when you will neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father." Or we could just say God. Okay? So basically what he was saying, there is no physical place that would be necessarily acceptable to worship God in. Why? Because notice what it says here in verse 24. It said, "God is spirit, and those who worship him, or God, must worship in spirit and truth." So worship has nothing to do with a place. It is actually a state of mind and an internal thing. And Jesus understood this. And this is why now you can see the reasons behind his actions and also his words. He understood this. So once again, just like I said in my last video, that ones who are still believing that Jesus came here, hold on one moment. Phone call, sorry about that. But like I said in my last video, how I mentioned those who still are adamant about Jesus basically sacrificing himself and believing in this blood sacrifice as your form of religion, basically, it is the occult. So there is no church especially that is going to be approved, an approved place of worship for the true God, whom Jesus, the Christ energy, represented. So just like that, that's what he was trying to say. Spirit and truth is the way to worship. It is not a physical place. You cannot attain it in a physical place. No type of physical place, okay? It is something that, like I said, once it is sparked within you and inside you, you will automatically be guided to your own way of worship that is almost like pre-programmed into you. You will flourish and blossom and live in that truth. What is truth? Truth is love. That is it. Love is what powers this entire universe. It is. So that's what I wanted to say for today. It's just one of those things that really has to be broken, that there's a physical place that is acceptable to God versus some other place. But that's why Jesus chose free settings, things that would not take advantage of people, because he literally was trying to help and empower them not to rely, like I said, on a singular source, but take pride in worshiping, but not being taken advantage of. Because for us to see, I'm not going to get emotional, so many people searching for truth being taken advantage of. It is heartbreaking, but also infuriating when truth is totally free, period. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you're all doing well. Just be patient. That's the best thing I can say. Be patient and try your best to live your life and each action out of love. Okay? All right. Peace to you all. I love you as always. Take care. Bye.